Alright, what's good? What's good? I'm back. Took a little week off. Had to relax, rest up. you know. Before I get started, don't forget, hit that click now, subscribe button in that right hand corner. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that comment. Good or bad, all engagement is good engagement. When we get into a few sports topics, first let me get in some NFL. I'm gonna go over the standings right now. You know what I'm saying? Get my take on things. Right now, the Cardinals are looking good. They're 6-0. They're looking like a team that's serious. All the moves they made on the offseason seem to pan out. AJ Green, JJ Watt. Rams are looking good. They're 5-1, but they're typically always around that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna really judge the Rams come playoff time. Same thing with the Cardinals. I mean, this is gonna be their first. They keep it up. This is gonna be their first playoff run with Kyler Murray, and we'll see how that goes. Green Bay. I mean, they're 5-1. They're winning that division. I mean, Vikings are 3-3. Nobody stands a chance of catching up with them. Green Bay's in there. Dallas. I mean, they pretty much got that division locked up. I hate to say it. Dallas has got it locked up. Washington's at 2-4, man. I mean, unless Dallas does what Stephen A. Smith says, like anything that could go wrong, that could possibly go wrong, goes wrong for them towards the end. I don't see them losing that division. So I mean, you might as well say that's division winners right there: Dallas, Green Bay. Now Arizona and the Rams. I mean, that's gonna be a fight. It's 5-1 and 6-0. So the Rams could end up winning that division because the Cardinals could end up losing some games. What do we got? Tampa Bay is at 5-1. Seattle at 3-2. Tampa Bay's got that division pretty much locked. Tampa Tom is in full effect. He's balling out. You got Tennessee, AFC South, 4-2 over the Colts. Tennessee's probably going to easily win this division. I don't really see the Colts, standing a chance. Then you got Houston Texans and Jacksonville. Jacksonville just won their first game recently. Buffalo 4-2 over New England, 2-4 in their division. Buffalo is going to win that division without a doubt. Chargers, Raiders, Chiefs, Broncos. This is going to be an interesting division because from the looks of it, Raiders or Chargers are going to win the division. But it's 4-2, 4-2, 3-3. I mean, Chiefs can easily just win like the rest of their games. They can easily win the rest of their games here on out. But it's still going to be tough. I mean, 6 games in, 10 games to go, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, Chiefs could easily go 10-0. So that's going to be good. That's a good division to watch out for: Chargers, Raiders, and Chiefs. You got Baltimore and the Bengals and the Browns. The Browns are 4-3. Baker's hurt. I don't know. I don't really. Browns are probably done for the season. I mean, they might make the playoffs still. Who knows? Wild card, but it's not looking good. Bengals instantly Joe Burrow, second year, they're already fighting for a division, title, which they probably won't win the division, but at 4-2, the Bengals could easily get a wild card. Easily get a wild card. I mean, and most of the wild cards are going to come from either the AFC West and the AFC North in that division. Then you got this week's games. Let me go over. We got Carolina and the Giants. I'm picking Carolina over the Giants. Jets in New England. I'm going with New England. Kansas City and Tennessee. This is what's really going. If Kansas City loses this game, it's not going to look good. It's like Kansas City done come back down to earth. Teams are starting to catch up with them, figure them out. But we'll see. This game is going to be a big game for Kansas City. So I'm going Kansas City over Tennessee, though. Green Bay, Washington. I'm going Green Bay over Washington. Atlanta, Miami. Both of them teams suck, but I'm going Atlanta over Miami. Bengals and Baltimore. This is a big game because this game right here could tie it up for the division. So I'm going to go Bengals for the upset. Detroit Lions and the Rams. Detroit hasn't won a game yet. They're like the worst team in the league right now. It definitely isn't Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence. It's Detroit. So Rams over Detroit easily. Eagles and Raiders. I'm going Raiders over the Eagles. Arizona and Texans. Arizona for the win. They're going to be at 7-0. Chicago and Tampa Bay. I'm going Tampa Bay over Chicago. San Fran, Indiana. I mean, San Fran ain't as good as we thought they were going to be. I'm going to Colts. We got New Orleans and Seattle. Oh, man. I'm going New Orleans. And, of course, Cleveland barely beat Denver, which isn't saying much. All right, off to the NBA we go. First things first, Charlotte Hornets are 2-0. My hometown, my home state team. I mean, the Mellow Ball's balling out. I mean, we're looking good right now. We got a nice little squad, man. I like the lineup. We done beat Cleveland and we have done beat the Pacers. Orlando lost to New York. The next one, 121-96. Pacers lost to Washington. Washington is actually 2-0. They're looking pretty good right now. You know, Toronto beat Boston. Boston, man, I don't know what's up with Boston. Boston doesn't look too good right now. It doesn't look like the Celtics are going to have a good season right now. I'm gonna tell you what. If they have a very bad season and they don't even make the playoffs, and because I think I'm about to check the standings, but I think they're 0-2 right now. That's not gonna pan well for them. Like they're gonna do major breakups and major moves. Brooklyn beat the Sixers 114-109. I mean, Brooklyn's still a team to reckon with just James Harden and Kevin Durant and all the other pieces they got around them. New Orleans Pelicans lost to the Bulls. The Bulls are 2-0. I like the Bulls. Bulls are looking good right now. DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, Vujicic, whatever his name is, and Patrick Patterson. OKC lost to Houston, and Denver beat the Spurs. Jokic dominates as Nuggets turn back Spurs rally. All right, so let's see. Is there any more games? Okay. Utah beat Sacramento 110-101. And Phoenix beat the Lakers 115-105. Lakers do got some chemistry issues right now, but it's a whole new team, really, except for like 3 players, maybe 4 players. So right now, Washington's 2-0, Knicks 2-0, Bulls 2-0, Hornets 2-0, Hawks 1-0, Atlanta 1-0, Bucks 1-1, Brooklyn 1-1. I definitely think Wizards actually look like a good team on paper. You know, with Spencer Dinwiddie, Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, Berton, the dude they drafted last year, Montrezl Harrell, and I know I'm missing somebody else. KCP, Contavious Caldwell Pope. So Wizards actually look like a good team on paper. You know what I'm saying? They got some good vets in there. They look like they might could win some games. But I don't know that they'll make the playoffs this year. I got Atlanta making it. I got Miami making it. I got Bulls making it. I got the Bucks making it. I got the Nets making it. That's 5. And the other guarantee, as I'm gonna say, is probably gonna be the Sixers. So and then after that, you probably got Charlotte and the Knicks. And Charlotte, like we're looking good right now, but we're gonna have to see how we play against the real good teams first. Once I see, like when we start playing against, we start beating Miami and Atlanta, Chicago, the Bucks, the Nets, the Sixers. You know, we start beating those teams and the Raptors and stuff like that. Then I'm like, okay, we're for real. but we're still young. We're still young. Then in the West, you got Utah, of course, they're undefeated right now. Golden State's undefeated, but I don't know that that's going. I mean, Steph Curry's balling out, but he's going to have a magnificent game every single game for them to keep up what they're doing. Nuggets, of course, undefeated. Um, Grizzlies, T Wolves, Houston's 1-1, Phoenix 1-1. I mean, Lakers are 0-2. But I think they'll get things together. I got Lakers making the playoffs. I got the Suns. I got the Nuggets, the Jazz for sure. Then, man, maybe actually Golden State probably will make the playoffs this year. And Dallas will probably make the playoffs this year. And I'm going to say probably the Grizzlies. I'm going to say the Grizzlies make the playoffs this year. Ja Morant is phenomenal. That block he did the other day is just phenomenal. So that's my teams at the West. T Wolves now. T Wolves, they're gonna be a sleeper because they on paper with Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, and the rest of the crew. They look like a pretty good team on paper, man. They got Patrick Beverly back up. They look like a pretty good team on paper. There's no reason they shouldn't make the playoffs because Anthony Edwards are probably gonna ball out this year. I see him definitely balling out this year. All right, let me get into a few topics. Kyrie Irving, he's definitely holding still, man. Is taking a stance. Now, Kyrie Irving said that he doesn't want to get vaccinated because he's taking a stance for people who lost their jobs who haven't get vaccinated. Now, I do disagree that people they should have not lost their jobs because they haven't been vaccinated. Like this whole time before the vaccination, what were people doing? They were going to work and they were just social distancing and masking up. And a lot of people still went through their jobs and never got COVID. My mom went to work every single day, never got COVID. So this idea that unvaccinated people can't just still mask up and social distance. And then you got people that are actually still getting COVID with the vaccination. You had two NBA players from the Boston Celtics just get COVID and they're vaccinated. And then they still had a quarantine. So what's the purpose of getting a vaccination if you still got a quarantine? That makes no sense. That's so ass backwards. It really is. And Kyrie Irving, I mean, I know he said it's not all about money, but it's easy for a cat that's made millions of dollars to say it's not all about money when you got millions of dollars to just pay your bills. An average Joe at the job couldn't take this kind of stance where they say, well, I'm not going to go to work because, I'm taking a stance of people who lost their jobs because they were not vaccinated. Fortunately, I'm self-employed. I work for myself. So unless I'm telling myself to get vaccinated, it's going to be a hard time for somebody else to try to tell me what I better do, that I better get vaccinated. If you're on TikTok, following live, watching me live, please hit that follow. If you're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, hit that like, subscribe. So, Kyrie Irving, I mean, it's easy for him to take this stance. He's got a lot of money, even though I do agree that people shouldn't have lost their jobs just because they're not vaccinated. It's so bogus. It's so BS. It really shouldn't have. But I don't know, man. Like, pretty soon, though, like, Brooklyn's going to have to really decide what they're going to do about this. This is going to end up turning into like a Ben Simmons kind of ordeal eventually. It's just really going to affect the team because the longer it goes on and longer it lingers, the longer sports media is going to talk about it. Longer Paul Pickett podcast is going to talk about it. Same with this next guy, Ben Simmons. Like Ben Simmons shows up out of the blue. Knocking on the door, texting like, "Yo, somebody let me in. I'm here to get vaccinated." so I can come back to work. But he don't really want to come back to work. It's just a scheme, a ploy, a plot to try to not lose the money he's losing, because he comes back and then they try to tell him to do drills, which is part of his job, is what he gets paid to do, and he's like, nah, you know. It's like if you go to a job, I don't care if you work at McDonald's, you tell the store owner, not the store owner, but the store manager. If the store manager asks you to do something and you tell them no, they could fire you on the spot, man. Tell you to go home, kick rocks. You know what I'm saying? Fire you on the spot, insubordination. You know, when you're an employee, you always have a boss or a manager or somebody who's over you that has authority over you. You know, maybe Ben Simmons forgot that. Maybe he didn't realize he don't own the Sixers, but like he's playing his cards all wrong. The Sixers are playing their cards all wrong. He's playing his cards all wrong. Like I'm gonna tell you what, man. I mean, whatever team he goes to, he better Super Ball out. I mean, if he don't Super Ball out, if he does the same thing, like he goes to the playoffs with a team and he chokes and folds, oh man, he'll be bouncing around the league from team to team. He'll turn into Jeff Green, bouncing around the team, bouncing around the league from team to team. You know, so Ben Simmons has overplayed his hand. He's not even that great. He didn't even win rookie of the year. I believe he was hurt his whole first year. You know, I mean his numbers are not really that great. They're really not. You know, they're just not. He doesn't score enough. You know, so Ben Simmons overplayed his hand. Um, they should ship him to. I mean, anywhere they could get any good compensation for him. You know what I'm saying? But Ben Simmons definitely doesn't want to win. He doesn't care about being great. He just did it for a paycheck, and that's part of the athletic privilege that goes on. You know, these athletes, they got all the privilege in the world. They make millions of dollars. Some of them just sit the bench. Some of them make millions of dollars and don't play a single minute, man, the whole year. You know. So yeah, Ben Simmons, he's playing the victim. You know, he's acting like a crybaby. He's, you know, Ben Super Soft Simmons. That's what I call him now. Ben Super Soft Simmons. He's soft, man. Soft as tissue. I Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter made some remarks on Twitter. I guess it was against the Chinese government. Had something to do about freeing Tibet and whatnot. And apparently this ain't gonna bode well for the NBA in China now. You know, but it's crazy how one big old country like that, like one person speaks out who's not even, all due respect, Enes Kanter is not even from America. He's Turkish. He's from Turkey, which he has warrants out for him right now at in Turkey, which I didn't know. I just found out recently. You know, so Enes Kanter is definitely a person who's going to speak his mind, say what he feels, speak on world events, political matters, use his platform, his social media platforms and whatnot. And, you know, it's just really crazy now. Like, we're in a world where everybody's being crucified for words. You know, I thought actions speak louder than words. Apparently, in a sensitive, soft society of today, words speak louder than actions. Because, you know, people like get upset over words and stuff. Maybe your mommies and your daddies didn't teach you, but there's a thing called sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you. You know, if you letting names hurt you, I mean, you're soft, you're sensitive, you're weak minded, as far as I'm concerned. You know, I know y'all gonna call it like depression and post-mortem stress and all this BS that y'all try to put up there. But, stop it, man. My father committed suicide, man, when I was 5 years old. I never met him. Yeah, I used to be depressed. I used to let that linger on my psyche. But what did I say? I let it linger on my psyche, Y'all, but this super soft world, y'all don't know how to not let it linger, not to just not ignore things, ignore words that can't really hurt you. They can't harm you. They can't assault you. They can't abuse you, you know. Mental abuse. I mean, mental abuse is for people who let people mentally abuse them. One thing I learned about stress, it's a choice. People choose to stress. I choose not to stress, you know. So yeah, Enes Kanter made these remarks. It's not going to bode well for the NBA because apparently a whole country gets sensitive at a Turkish basketball player who happens to just play in the NBA tweets a tweet and then they want to hold it against the whole NBA. They want to blame the whole NBA for one player coming out and posting some remarks. I mean, that's so weak, man. That is so weak. It's like, if one person does something to me, I don't blame the whole damn world. If somebody in the neighborhood does something to me, I don't blame the whole damn neighborhood for it, man. That's so weak. That's so lame, man. That's so bogus. And that's what, you know, China's doing. They're blaming all of the NBA and all of America because Enes Kanter, who's not even from America, who's Turkish, mind you, you know, happened to just speak on a world event, a political event that he just doesn't feel, you know, he feels is unjust. He feels like there's some unjust things going on, you know. But, let's keep it rolling in this sensitive society of today, the super soft sensitive society today. We'll talk about Randy Moss crying over John Gruden's like 10, 15-year-old comments. Like, man, really, man? Like, why would I cry over something that somebody said about somebody in an email over 10 years ago that had nothing to do with me? If I cry, I'm gonna cry over a death of somebody I know, a loved one, or I cry over movies. Usually Denzel Washington movies like Glory and John Q or Will Smith 7 Pounds. Like, but I'm not gonna cry because somebody insulted somebody else. That is that's so soft, man. Like Randy Moss, man. I mean, like, I wouldn't even run around and tell nobody that I used to play in the NFL because the NFL should be embarrassed right now that Randy Moss even played in the league. I mean, it's so soft. What are you crying for, man? I'm gonna cry because somebody insulted somebody else. They didn't insult me. It didn't. Guess what? Even if they insult me, so what? So what, Randy Moss? So what? I'm not gonna cry over it, Somebody want to call me a honky or a cracker, or when Charlemagne the God calls white people mayonnaise mammals, I don't cry over it. I don't. Oh my gosh, Uncle Charlemagne the God called me a mayonnaise mammal. So what? So what, man? Even if he directly said it to my face, I wouldn't cry over it, man. I wouldn't cry over it. One bit. Even if I didn't have any respect for Charlemagne the God. I I honestly think it's funny. Like mayonnaise mammals. I mean, it's kind of funny, man, when you think about it. I mean, like it really is. You know, mayonnaise mammals. I mean, I'm gonna laugh about it more than I'm gonna cry about it. You know what I'm saying? But y'all cry over these words and stuff, man. You know, like even this is the thing. The guy that John Gruden made the comments about, he ain't crying over it. I guarantee he ain't crying over it. I guarantee it. He is not crying over it. No, he's not crying over it. So why the hell is Randy Moss crying over it, man? Get freaking crybaby crying on live television over it, man. It's all for clicks, man. It's all for show. Randy Moss is just, he must be trying to get some role in some movie or something, man. Because it's all bogus, you know. But yep, that's it. That's my take for this episode. This is episode 67. I mean, we're like almost there. We're like 33 more to go, and we're at episode 100. Don't forget, the audio version goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Slacker, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Podcasts, Addict, and more. Also, don't forget my podcast is also sponsored by PromoPalace.biz. It's Promo Palace LLC or PromoPalace.biz. You need online marketing promotions for your product, your brand, or your music. Please check out PromoPalace.biz. Also, check out New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com. If you're a dog lover, a cat lover, animal rights activist, check out newlitter.com. We got t-shirts, hoodies, kicks, and we got apparel for your dogs as well. We got dog bandanas. And also, I got to shout out Dizzle. Dizzlebrand.com. Dizzle, just add ice. Dizzle on ice. Check us out. Do your Dizzle. Dizzlebrand.com. We also got plenty merchandise for Dizzle as well. We got hoodies, t-shirts, and whatnot. Once again, I'm Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and more. Hit that like, hit that share, hit me that comment, hit the follow on Instagram, hit the like on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok, and whatnot, and what more. Once again, I want to thank you for anybody who's tuned in. If you're live on TikTok, if you're on the YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Peace, and I'm out.